Right now, in Pennsylvania, engineers are restarting a nuclear plant, one that was switched off years ago. Its name is 3 Mile Island, the most infamous name in American nuclear history. And they're turning it back on for one reason: to feed artificial intelligence. A few thousand miles south, there's a country with the opposite problem. So much clean electricity, it literally throws part of it away. The race to power AI just quietly changed addresses. And almost nobody noticed. I build products with AI from inside Brazil. So let me show you what the headlines are missing. Start with a number that shouldn't be possible. Brazil's electricity grid is almost 90% renewable, roughly 88%. The United States grid is about 26%. That's not a small gap. That's a different planet. Where does it come from? Hydro, giant dams, is still about half the grid. Wind is around 15%. Solar near 10% and climbing fast. Brazil's grid is roughly 4 times cleaner than the world average. Now, here's the twist nobody tells you. This grid doesn't have too little clean power. It has too much. In 2025, Brazil threw away about 20% of its wind and solar. They switched off turbines, they switched off solar farms. Solar curtailment hit 27%. Not because anything broke, because there was nowhere to send the power. Picture it: a wind farm on the coast of Ceará. Perfect wind, and it gets an order to shut down. Clean energy, basically free, dumped into the sky. By some counts, over $1 billion of it wasted in a single year. So, how did a country end up this clean and this oversupplied? Here's the part the tech press skips. Brazil didn't go green because it planned to be green. It went green by geography and by patient government policy. It has continental rivers, Itaipu, the Paraná Basin, the Amazon. For 50 years, hydropower was the backbone. It still is, about half of everything. Then, in the 2000s, the state ran energy auctions. A slow, boring, government-built market. And it unlocked a wind boom in the Northeast. The coastal wind up there is some of the steadiest on Earth. Then came solar. The result isn't virtue, it's structure. A grid 4 times cleaner than the world's, almost by accident. Now, drop the AI era on top of all that. Because underneath the hype, AI is an energy problem. A data center is just a building. A building that turns electricity into computation and heat. Train a model, run a model, you're really burning power. And the scarcest thing in the AI race? It isn't chips, it's clean, cheap power. At gigawatt scale, available now. That is exactly what Brazil has lying around. The weird surplus that was becoming a loss just became the most wanted asset on the planet. One company just got cleared to build a single campus drawing 5 gigawatts. That's the appetite of a small country on one site. Powered, they say, entirely by renewables. Brazil is already more than 40% of Latin America's data center investment. The national plan talks about $350 billion over 10 years. The turbine that used to switch off, build the data center next to it and it never stops. The loss becomes computation. But let me be honest, because this channel isn't a cheerleader. It's not all solved. Brazil's problem was never generating the power. It's delivering it, the wire. The Northeast generates, the Southeast consumes. And the transmission lines never caught up. That's the real bottleneck. Not watts, wires. Whoever fixes the grid wins the decade. Now look back up north. The United States is going the exact opposite direction. AI demand exploded faster than the grid could grow. PJM, the biggest grid operator in America, ran a capacity auction and came up short for 2027. Not enough power for the peak. So what's the answer there? Restart a dead nuclear plant. Burn more natural gas. Microsoft signed up to buy 20 years of that 3 Mile Island power. a $1.6 billion revival backed by a federal loan. Sit with the contrast for a second. America is digging deep to find every last electron. Brazil is switching turbines off because it has too many. Same race. Two addresses, two completely different kinds of physics, two restarts, two worlds. In Pennsylvania, they reawaken a reactor parked since 2019. In southern Brazil, they approve a 5 gigawatt campus on power that already exists and already spills over. So, when you hear the AI boom is moving south, this is why. Not tax breaks, not cheap labor. Joules, clean surplus gigawatt scale joules. And here's the lesson I keep coming back to. Brazil's biggest advantages were never built for the moment they're winning. The dams, the auctions, the wind farms, decades of slow, unglamorous infrastructure. Built for one reason, paying off for a completely different one. The food machine, the third plane maker, and now the power. If the 21st century really runs on clean electricity and compute, one of the strangest front runners is a country most people still call developing. I'm watching it get built from the inside. Subscribe and watch it with me.